Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Brett Pastore, who will fight on Fury FC 105 June 22nd. Hello, Brett. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. And just a few weeks ago, you defeated I think that one of the most promising talents from Fury. It was a fight against Lester Batres Jr. And if you can tell me, how do you feel after this fight? Because I think that it was like really, really big win for you.
Yeah, he was undefeated. I think I could have shown a lot more. Obviously, the UFC wants finishes, and wasn't able to finish him. He had some good defense for some of my submissions, but I think this next camp we're going to make a lot of improvements these next 8 weeks, and next fight we need to finish. I need to get to the UFC this year, so we're stepping on the gas. We're getting better every day.
And I saw that you like mentioned on the IG, and I think that on the interviews that you want to be in the UFC this year. And what is like the reason behind it? Why you are so focused to be there here in 2025?
Yeah, I'm 30 years old now. And I've fought almost everywhere. I fought 2 times in Lumpini Stadium. I fought in Madison Square Garden twice. I fought in almost every continent. I've done almost everything, fought everywhere except the UFC. Every single day, people stop me on the street. They're like, "Oh, are you like in the UFC?" And I'm like, not yet. I'm on UFC Fight Pass." Nobody knows what MMA is. People in America, people everywhere in the world don't know what MMA is. People know what the UFC is. So I have that. Once I make that UFC debut, then I'll feel more complete. That's an important goal for me.
And for your next fight, do you have a name of your opponent?
I'm fighting Umranjan Mansurov from Tajikistan. He's 3-0. So another undefeated guy. Another 8-week training camp and fighting again in Fury. So yes, sir.
And do you have like more information about him? Like when you are in your training camp right now, do you try to focus and at his like the best parts of his game?
Yeah. I study and I research all my opponents, but I don't go too much into what they're gonna do. I'm more concerned with what I'm gonna do. So I watch a few videos, just watch have my coaches break down some ideas, and then generally it's the same game plan for every opponent, but just being aware of their different options, how they're going to try to stop my offense. So yeah.
And actually, I think that you have a really really like crazy career. You mentioned that you fought all over the world, and actually, like about a week after your next fight, you will be in the championship. It will be a combat sambo championship, a Pan American Championship. And how your body can recover after just a week ago having a fight to start in the very very difficult tournament?
Yeah, my secret is I'm just always in pain and just always always competing. I've been competing just my whole life and it's always on to the next thing. Right after I fought that last one in Fury, I think it was a week or two later, I fought in Nationals and I had 9 matches in one day. Combat Sambo and Sport Sambo. Got a little confusing between the two rule sets. But I won the Nationals for combat for my division. So now I qualified for Pan Ams and the World Championships. Pan American Championships will be in Ecuador, and that's the week after. So just 7 days after I do my MMA fight in Fury, I'm gonna fly to Ecuador. I'm gonna fly to Ecuador probably the very next day, and then compete for Team USA Combat Sambo. Look to bring another my second Pan American Championship back home, and then I want to be the first ever American to win a World Championship in Combat Sambo.
And when the World Championship gonna be? Which month?
The World Championships are always around Veterans Day, the second weekend of November. This year, they're in a country called Turkmenistan, which is a country that not a lot of people get to go to. I've heard they're pretty closed off, but I've seen some beautiful pictures of that country, and looking forward to winning a world championship right over there.
So you definitely will have like busy even this whole year because you are like all the time you are competing in the all kind of like tournaments and fights.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is what I love to do. I want to compete as much as possible. This is my life. You're only young once. I'm probably gonna have maybe 10 more years in my career. So I'm gonna have every day is gonna count and I'm gonna keep winning and keep getting better every single day.
And also saw on your Instagram that you like track that you are tracking your fights that it will be like your fight number 92. It was with Lester or the next one, right?
Yeah, I think my next one is my 92nd. I gotta pull up my fight tracker. So I think this year I'm gonna hit 100 fights. So yeah, I'd like to hit 100 fights. Maybe my 100th will be in the UFC. We'll see.
And of course, like in MMA, we have a Sherdog, we have a topologies, so there is a possibility to track your fights. But in other sport, is there any like database that you can put your results in, or do you like have in your let's say notebook the results of your fights?
Yeah, it's just notebook because like pro Muay Thai, pro Lethwei, like bare knuckle boxing, there's no actual records. A lot of these are in countries where there's just no sanctioning body and no rules. um, Amateur boxing, I had 48 matches, but BoxRec only shows I think 10 of them. Um, so it's me keeping my own records because um, yeah, like Burmese Lethwei, they're not going to have anyone keeping records of that.
And how did you like the lightweight bout? Because also it's like not like super popular sport in the other parts of the world, and here there I think that it's a pretty big one, especially like because of the unusual move, and it's like the striking with your head.
Yeah, a lot of people have no idea what Lethwei is. So for those listening who have never heard of it, Lethwei looks like Muay Thai. They call it the art of nine limbs. Muay Thai, you can use your elbows, knees, kicks, hands. Lethwei adds in the strikes with the head, and there's no restrictions on the clinching. You can wrap your arms around someone and lift them up and do a suplex or slams and power bombs. There's no restrictions on any of the striking techniques. They just stand you up when you go to the ground. And the big thing about that sport is there's no judges. You can only win by knockout. And you can take a timeout if you do get hurt. So you basically have to knock the person out twice because you can knock someone out and as the referee's counting, to 10, the corner can take a timeout. So usually they want to have a full 5 round fight, or some of the fights have no time limit. The one I did was 5 rounds. Usually what you want to do is you want to get that 5th round knockout. So you want to go the whole distance, and then at the end, when they can't take their time out, when there's no more time left, that's when you want to get the knockout, and then you're sprinting to the finish. Lethwei is a crazy sport, and a really beautiful art that nobody really knows about. I'm really lucky that I was able to get that opportunity to fight, one of the top guys in the sport over there in Myanmar, a country that nobody gets to go to.
And what is crazy that you also like had your grappling bouts. It's actually on topology. I believe that you started in some sumo tournament. So is there any sport that you didn't like do, and you would like to take some competition?
I have a giant list of sports I haven't done, and I'm going to do them all. Um, Armored MMA. Once I get enough money to buy a suit of armor, I'd love to do that. Um, there's also a lot of like native wrestling styles, like Georgian Chidoba or all these different folk wrestling styles from around the world. I'd love to just travel and do every single one. Yeah, that's what I love to do. I'd love to do like a Mongolian Nadam, one of their big festivals where you just wrestle everyone. Yeah, I want to compete in every combat sport that exists. Variety is the spice of life, as they say, and I want to get the most out of the life that I've been given.
And for now, what is like the favorite like competition, the favorite sport that you did for now?
I mean, favorite sport would probably be MMA because MMA is the mix of all the other sports. but every sport I have a special place in my heart. Or like folk style wrestling, American wrestling, what I grew up doing. That's such a special place in my heart. And I still watch college wrestling every day. Um, yeah, I'd have to say MMA is the main one. But of course, I love to be the person who brings a little bit of spotlight to arts like Lethway, catch wrestling. Nobody really knows what catch wrestling is. It's looks similar to jiu-jitsu, but a lot of the folk style wrestling principles. And I want to be one of the few catch wrestlers to really have success in the sport of MMA and really bring a spotlight back to that martial art.
Isn't about like catch wrestling. I think that the most like known and popular fighter was Josh Barnett. He bring like some sports, some of this sport to MMA. But about your career, when did you think that this like fighter's life will be for you? Where you were like kid or teenager?
Yeah, I started wrestling when I was 5 years old. Um, I saw other sports on TV. I'm like, every one of these athletes, American football and baseball, they're all like over 200 pounds. And I was a very small kid. I was very small growing up. I was like, oh, I see some of these other sports have weight classes. So this might be really good for me. And I started wrestling really young. And I saw like the UFC on TV and the UFC video game. I'm like, oh, they're shooting double legs and single legs just like I do in wrestling practice every day. Maybe I'll do this cage stuff when I'm older. I saw that when I was like wrestling in middle school. Like, yeah, one day I'll be a MMA fighter. I just focused on wrestling all through middle school and high school. But then when I got to college, I started getting a lot of amateur boxing bouts, started doing some amateur MMA fights. And then I just had the desire to do everything that I could possibly, um, you know, do and learn. I love to learn. I love to go everywhere, see everything, and do as much as I can.
And I think that it's like a quite unusual thing because like usually the like MMA fighter is like super focused on MMA, but I think that because you are doing all of the other stuff, it can like make your MMA game even better because you train like a specialist in different sports, and I think that we can see like results in your last few fights.
Yeah, there's definitely some things I do a little bit better than just straight MMA fighters. I can feel most guys in the clinch. I'm like, they have some ideas from MMA, but they don't really. There's a lot of concepts that a lot of MMA guys are lacking in certain positions that other sports have really mastered. Like, I start doing a lot of my Greco-Roman clinch with these guys, and then I go to MMA, and guys just don't have that same ability to pummel for an underhook at all. The guys in individual arts are so much better at very small, specific skills that I can go to and really learn from them and bring back to MMA.
And do you have plans for now to go to other country and train there? Because I believe that you spend a lot of time in Thailand. And do you have this kind of other country that you would like to be for like few months or even a year?
Yes, I do want to go back to Thailand. I am saving up money now. But I've also been talking to my coaches, been making some plans about a good little training camp in Dagestan. So hopefully they can send me to Dagestan for 2-3 weeks and forget. Um, and then, yeah, I'd like to potentially do a training camp this year in Mahachkala. So hopefully that'll materialize. We're still working on the details for that training camp.
And like usually you train in Jackson Wing MMA in US.
Yes, I live in the gym. This is my room. This is my dorm room in the gym. The mats are, a few steps away. I walk outside this door and I'm on the mats. So I live in the gym. I live at Jackson Wink MMA. And then in Thailand, I live in a small hotel right next to Tiger Muay Thai. So yeah, I'm always just right by the gym, so I can train at least twice a day, every single day.
Because you live it.
All the time I'm in the gym.
Yes, because
Yeah, this is
yes.
This is the bed that I sleep in. I live
Oh yes, yes,
right
yes.
here. I walk outside and I'm right on the mats. So this is Jackson Wink MMA. Down this hall, we into the weight room. Sorry if the music is playing now. This is the weight room area. Walk right out here. Here's the weight room. Got some guys lifting. And then I'm right
Yes.
on the mats.
Wow,
I got
that's
the
that's
cases over there.
yes,
Yeah,
that's a great gym, legendary.
yeah, definitely can be live. My room is right there, so I can train as much as I can. Yes, sir.
And when you are trained for your like even right now for your next fight, do you like to train and spar with the people like you? So maybe lightweights, maybe welterweights, but like close to your like size, or do you also like to spar with a little bit like smaller and heavier fighters?
Jackson Week, we have a lot of welterweights. We have a lot of guys the weight class just above me, which is so perfect for me. Um, so like I'll do, 5 to 10 rounds with guys who are all a little bit heavier than me. And then when I get in the fight, it's like, oh wow, this my opponent's not a welterweight. This guy's a little bit smaller than me. And this feels a lot easier than the training sessions. Where I'm wrestling with these guys over here, next door from Chechnya and these big Russian guys who are taking me down. And yeah, when I clinch with guys in lightweight, I'm like, whoa, this is just a lot different feeling. It's a lot easier. So yeah.
And do you have like maybe one or two favorite sparring partners when you like train and spar with them? You know that your level is like moving up.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of guys I can mention. Um, right now I'm doing a lot of work with my teammate who's on the same card of this next one, Ismail Israilov. He just knocked out a 5-0 guy with like one punch. His last fight in Fury. And he's gonna. I think he's the co-main event for this next Fury card. So yeah, we're doing our camp together. I'm getting really good work with him in. And then just there's a whole lot of really good welterweights. We have about 4 or 5 featherweights in the UFC. And I get to get that speed, as you were mentioning. See those faster guys. I get to see them as well every day. So yeah, just a lot of guys in and out. A lot of guys come here for just a few weeks. Um, so yeah, a lot of different type of experience over here.
And of course, your like experience in like all combat sports is like pretty crazy because you have a chance to like fight against the best in different disciplines. But in
Mhm.
MMA, do you have maybe one name in mind that you would like to face, even as the like dream fight scenario?
Islam Makhachev, he's the best lightweight in the world. If I go back to one championship, Christian Lee, I love watching him fight. He's such a, he's the ONE FC champion. I'd love to fight him. Um, I wouldn't be able to fight. Let's see, there's 2 guys in the top 10 who train at Tiger, Rafael Fiziev and Arman Sarukian. I train with them over there. So wouldn't make sense to fight them because we're teammates. But everyone else in the top 10, yeah, I'd love to fight everyone. Yeah.
Yes, and lightweight division is always like really deep. We have like a lot of guys outside, even outside of the rankings, that are like level are super high. So I think that we can match you against like many fighters, and we know that it will be still like a great fight.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting fights, and if I have a long training camp, I could do a fight at welterweight, but at welterweight, I like to put on some size, do a lot of weightlifting. I think lightweight is going to be the weight class that I really commit to for my for my UFC run. But we'll see.
And about your life, you were like a school teacher
Yeah.
before being like a full time combat sport artist.
Yeah. So as a school teacher, I'd wake up 5, 6 in the morning and do my first session, be exhausted, go to work for usually 10 hours a day. Lots of time, teaching and working with kids. And then coach wrestling. I coached a little bit of boxing, but then I'd do my last training session at night, and I would leave, get in my car. It was be pitch dark in the morning, and then I'd get back and be pitch dark at night. I would never sleep. But I made sure I saved up as much money as I could because I knew one day, if I wanted to go as far with this sport as I could, I'd have to be full time. I'd have to be a full time fighter. So I had to make that commitment. And eventually, I saw the opportunity, Tiger Muay Thai tryouts. I applied, got accepted, and then Yeah, bought a one-way ticket to Thailand, and now this is my life.
And how the tryouts looked like?
Tryouts were unbelievable. It was all filmed, and they couldn't release it. The Tiger Muay Thai and the studio, they couldn't come to an agreement to release the footage. But it was just this amazing documentary. It's kind of like The Ultimate Fighter, but it's like all these people, everyone's from a different country. I was the only American. There's like all these guys from Russia and Ukraine and this country, that country, everywhere in the world, and we all came together in this crazy week of training. And most of us ended up going right to one championship. I made my one championship debut, I think, 2 weeks later, and a lot of the guys went straight to there for both Muay Thai and for MMA. So yeah, Trouts, I met people who from all around the world, and now these connections. Yeah, the Trouts really opened up for me. It was the first time I was a full-time professional, so that really changed my life. Um, one week being a school teacher, the next week living in a country I'd never seen before, where there's palm trees everywhere and it's hot, and it's this new place of Thailand, and now I'm just hearing all these new languages. Um, and then yeah, that just changed my life forever. And now that's where I got the nickname the American Nomad. Buying a one-way ticket, just going all in, moving to this place called Thailand, and becoming fully committed to fighting. So yeah,
So your life story can be a movie in a few years.
maybe. I think I still need to get to the UFC. I still need to accomplish a few more things before we can really put the trademark on that Brett Pastore movie.
And about your like journeys from one countries to another, you mentioned Thailand, you mentioned Dagestan, but also do you plan to go in like a different country than US, and these ones maybe like a country from Europe or Brazil? Do you plan something like this?
So one of my big goals is to visit every country in the world. I visited 18 or 19 so far. I want to visit every single one, preferably fight in every one, but I know that's not realistically possible. Um, so yeah, I have talked to promoters about fighting in different promotions in Europe and South Africa and Brazil. Um, so yeah, I'd love to fight in the Saitama Super Arena in Japan. That would be a huge bucket list item for me. I think I was talking to the Ryzen promoter not long ago, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, next stop should be from Fury to the UFC.
Okay, Brett. So many thanks for the conversation. I hope that you will win your next fight, and later this year we can see you in the UFC either by Contender Series short notice fight. Like either way,
Mhm.
I hope that you will do it, and you will like accomplish your goal.
Thank you, and maybe one day I'll see you in Poland when I'm visiting Europe. Yeah.
Yes, yes, definitely.